California Congressman Devin Nunes says it's time to investigate the WHO and its ties to the Chinese Communist Party. One America's John Hines has more from Washington.
At one point, I think the Chinese communists, they of course have had a connection with the WHO. And I'm wondering what you and perhaps your colleagues are thinking, maybe the actions that should be taken against the WHO in light of what appears to be a pretty close working relationship that China had with the WHO, and maybe to the extent that they're responsible for mischaracterizing the coronavirus, or maybe not being as quick to alert people about the spreading virus as they might have.
Well, first, I would say we also have a problem with the major news organizations, not OAN, fortunately, which is why I'd love to do interviews with you guys. But the major news organizations in this country have been putting out Chinese Communist Party propaganda. If anybody believes the Chinese numbers, I've got a bridge to sell you in the high desert of California. You cannot believe what the Chinese are telling us. Right now, what really needs to happen is a serious investigation needs to be done by all the interested parties. So the interested parties, who are they? Those are the people who fund the WHO. The Europeans, many countries fund it. We're the biggest funder of it. We need to have a full and proper investigation so that we know exactly what occurred. And we just don't know that right now. So there's no reason to jump to any conclusions, but a proper investigation needs to be done. The one thing that concerns me about all of this is not only that China has continued to be all over the map with their explanations of this, but also this is a highly contagious virus, probably the most contagious virus that we've seen in modern history. Now, I say probably because we don't know that yet. We need more data. I don't want the fake news to take my comments out of context, which they probably will anyway, but at least we'll have a record of it here on OAN. The fact of the matter is that we don't have enough facts right now, but I think it is highly suspicious that we get the most contagious virus in modern history that comes right out of Wuhan, China. I think it's highly unusual, and we need to get to the bottom of that. To your point, we're not going to get to the bottom of that if we don't have a fully functioning World Health Organization, which is an internationally recognized body.
You're on the Intelligence Committee. Is there some thought that maybe this is a virus that is not naturally occurring, that may have occurred in a Chinese laboratory of some kind?
Well, look, we don't know the answers to that. That's the challenge. We just don't know the answers. We don't have enough information. We don't have a WHO that's functioning properly right now. The Chinese have not been upfront about this virus from the very beginning. And so there's just a lot more that we need to know before we make any conclusions. But I just think we know that the Chinese in Wuhan have a lab that's a weapons lab, a bioweapons lab. That's there. So they need to answer to this. They have a bioweapons lab there. They have all their Chinese experts are there. You would think somehow they'd come out with some kind of guidelines, something, anything. What have they been doing so far? If we just would have known from the very beginning on this, what are the symptoms and what are the best ways to treat this? If we would have known that, heard about it back in November or December when this likely first started, then by the time it arrived here, which, likely could have been at any point in that time, because we have so many flights coming a day from China into the United States until the president stopped them at the end of January, we would have been so much farther ahead of this. And that's why I go back to, the key is going to be instant testing for people that are viral with a place for them to go, along with the blood test, so we know how many Americans have been exposed. And then obviously in the long run, it's going to be getting vaccines. But we have to begin to put plans together to open this economy back up. And you're seeing, I think the governor of Texas is being very aggressive, and other states are being very aggressive in this, trying to figure out what is the best way to open up their economy as quickly as possible, because people are being really damaged.
Congressman Devin Nunes, it's good to talk to you.
Well, thank you. Thanks, John.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.